Hello and welcome to Team PokeMart, your one-stop shop for the things that you need to stop and or shop for. And say, customer, those are some hefty muscles on you. You wouldn't be able to help your old pal Team PokeMart manager move some heavy boxes, would you? And in return, I can give you this shiny new subscribe button, the pressing of which will grant you regular Pokemon content uploaded straight into your YouTube feed. And you know what? I'll even throw in this clickable bell. I'm not entirely sure what it does, but I'll notify you when I do. Now, as for these box things, they are full of old Pokemon contest magazines that no one ever bought. Too much Poke drama and Poke scandals generated from PokeList. And look, this one even has a top 10 most beautiful Pokemon. It's always about the beautiful, isn't it? However, there is another side to beauty, a backside, if you will, of Pokemon that never get their time to shine for what they are. And since you're with me in my store and have nothing better to do, I checked your diary whilst you weren't looking, so I should know, I am going to give you my unsolicited opinions of the top 10 most ugly Pokemon. Now, dear customer, I must warn you that even though I am but a simple Team PokeMart store manager, I am not the arbiter of what is and is not ugly in the Pokemon world. You may disagree with me, which, whilst foolish, is still technically your right. And as such, you are more than welcome to let me know your opinion in the customer feedback survey below, aka the comment section, which I point out, because I know that at least one of you is going to take this literally and will comment asking where the survey is, not quite picking up on the hint. But now let's get those arms of yours into gear and get the subtle voice of mine motivating you with my completely on-the-spot top 10 list of the most ugly Pokemon. Number 10. Nuzleaf. Our good friend Nuzleaf comes to us from the Hoenn region, introduced in Generation 3. And you know, I personally think that Seedot is pretty cute, but then it evolves into this weird little looking dude bruh. I mean, just look at the nose and those sort of weird knee pad / pant thingies. He's like a little kid on the beach, but this is not indeed a child, it is a Pokemon. And Pokemon are usually cuter and more tolerable in general than children, but not Nuzleaf. Locally, it has been known to jump out of bushes and to scare passing people, which going by its look shouldn't be too hard, am I right? And at this stage, you might be thinking that I'm being a bit harsh. I mean, he isn't all that bad, right? I suppose he does have a maybe cool mask thing, but I have one word for you, dear valued customer, and that word is nipples. The worst part about Nuzleaf is that it has, for some reason, nipples. The only Pokemon with nipples, mind you, and I don't know about you, but this thought keeps me up at night. Well, that and all of my night shifts, but hey, that's what the coffee is for, right? Nothing like a good coffee buzz to keep me going through the day. And just, speaking of buzz, number 9, Volbeat. Another Hoenn relative and the counterpart to the much more better looking Illumise. And if anything, Volbeat is like the portly, rich oil baron to Illumise's gorgeous countess wife. But let's be perfectly honest here. I think Volbeat has hit the nectar way too hard, which is obvious with his bulbous nose and big old tum-tum. And in fact, with his tiny wings, I'm surprised that he is able to achieve full or even partial flight, let alone being able to walk with those stumpy legs. Volbeat also manages to grow a chunky red scarf, or maybe it's not a red scarf, maybe it's more like a popped collar because he's trying so very hard to be cool. Plus his antennae are just all over the place, and look, the very existence that is Volbeat is just a big mess. An utter mess, which may very well be why Volbeat looks so permanently disappointed. Well, guess what, Volbeat? We're disappointed in you. And no, your glowing butt cannot change my mind. Stop trying. Number 8, Magma. Now, some of you might find this opinion a bit contentious, especially with all of those crazy Kanto fans out there, Gen 1, Master Race and all, but Magma is a Pokemon that doesn't really know what it wants to be. Is it a dragon? Is it a duck? Is it a samba dancer with those ruffled looking arms? But the most important question when it comes to Magma is undeniably, why does it have a pair of flaming tits sitting on its head? And to be fair, I suppose it could also be a flaming butt. That, valued customer, I will leave to your own personal preferences. But we don't even stop there though, because we also have the black bands around Magma's leg and neck, giving it a subtle punk goth vibe. So perhaps just like Volbeat's popped collars, Magma is trying to look quote unquote cool, which is a bit ironic considering its typing, which is fire. And fire is hot, not cool, you stupid Magma. And Magma really is unfortunately the ugly middle child of Magby and Magmortar, which by the way, when you're the Pokemon being called ugly in comparison to Magmortar, then we have some serious problems. I just don't understand what and why is Magma. It's like a combination of rejected pieces of every other Pokemon design fused into this one cursed being. I mean, Magma, you say? More like Magna. Hold for laughter. No laughter coming. Oh, customer, come on. That joke was legendary. At least surely more legendary than number 7, TapuBulu. Yeah, that's right, a legendary Pokemon. TapuBulu is from Alola and introduced in Generation 7, being part of the 4 Guardian deities, and look, it really is letting the team down here, as it is easily the worst looking one of the group. TapuBulu's only redeeming factor is that it looks like a cool Taurus head when it is closed up, and that would be the exhaustive list of TapuBulu's redeeming qualities. It's just weird, so very weird. I mean, this Pokemon has hooves for hands and a weird bell tail with hair coming out, and its nose... is it a nose? I guess it has a nose ring, so it must be a nose. But I mean, then again, if you took a nose ring and you put it on the nipple of your Nuzleaf, then would that make it a nipple ring? Team PokeMart asking all the deep questions here today. In any case, TapuBulu is known to be quite lazy and isn't seen very often, which I'm sure is a huge relief to its native residents of Ula Ula Island. And most torturously of all, TapuBulu does not have a mouth, which means that it cannot even scream at its own reflection in the mirror. Number 6, ProperPass. And ProperPass evolves from our similarly nosy lad Nosepass, and ProperPass stuck its big ol' schnoz into Sinnoh Generation 4, and we won't ever forget it. And I get that this nose is part of the Pokemon, I really do. In fact, it's pretty much the only concept of the entire evolution line, but I have to say that the bushy iron mustache is just a bit much. It's supposed to be the compass Pokemon, not the strict dad who won't send me money and is ashamed of me Pokemon, but its worst feature would be those tiny beady eyes staring into your soul, unless of course you're like me who has sold my soul to the corporate machine, in which case ProperPass would be staring into the vast abyss. Well, at least he has a cool little hat, right? Wrong. There is no hat. Those are its eyebrows, and it blinks by moving the hat down. Although I guess maybe it's not blinking, maybe it's just tipping its hat, you know, milady. But here's the thing, it's not even just the big nose that's weird, it's also that it has a series of like mini noses as well, because its mountain sniffer was simply not enough to provide a satisfying experience of inhaling the stench that is this world. We're moving on now. Number 5, Klefki. It's got keys that jingle, jangle, and jingle again, but it also looks kinda freaky. Klefki was introduced in Generation 6, a native of the Kalos region, and even though Klefki is known as the key ring Pokemon, it isn't actually a ring because it can separate its hands or tendrils from each other. It's actually sort of more like a key belt. Regardless, its lock-hole shaped mouth can move, and when it smiles it is especially disturbing. But as for the final nail in the coffin or key in the lock, haha, that would be its tiny pink body resembling uvula.
Oh, so it's a girl
Pokemon.
What?
You know, that dangly bit of flesh at the back of your mouth which makes you throw up if you touch it. And I guess that's quite appropriate because that's exactly how I feel about Klefki. If I touch it, I will throw up. Number 4, Ambipom. And you know, Ambipom is kind of the living definition of what a child thinks puberty is compared to what it actually is. Apom had the chance to be something truly, truly great, but not this time and likely not ever. And so I feel you, Apom. I wanted to be something great once upon a time, and yet here I am hauling boxes, selling balls, and talking about ugly Pokemon to take my mind off the harsh, hellish reality of retail. But Ambipom has grown a nose, which hopefully it can use to sniff out just how shit it looks. To make matters worse, it also now has some sort of double ahoge on its head. And fun fact, ahoge means idiot hair, so double the ahoge mathematically translates into double the stupid Ambipom. And last but not least, it has double hand tails on its back, and I don't know about you, but those hands look an awful lot like something else to me. Like, you know the Pokemon Miltank? These are not hands. These are imitation udders, and I bet they don't even produce milk that is that good tasting. But you know what? I suppose at least Ambipom doesn't look like. Number 3, Quillfish. Quillfish is a lonely fish brought to us in Johto, so thanks for that, Johto. It is literally a spiky ball with a Wobbuffet tail and lips very, very reminiscent of a puckered anus. And as such, its stupid angry eyes and big lips make you want to turn around the moment you see it, which to be fair is a fantastic defense mechanism for Quillfish in the wild. But in a world of Marini and Toxapex, which are much better looking water poison spiky dudes, Quillfish comes in dead last. And you know what? I'd say it pretty solidly comes last compared to most water and or poison Pokemon. And it's strange because it's not like Magma where there's this critical mass of horrendous elements just mishmashed together. Quillfish actually has a very simple design, which unfortunately means that it lives and dies by those very simple features. And in this case, Quillfish lives by its anus lips, and as such it will also die by said anus lips. Number 2, Gothiel. Alright, we're on to some seriously not good looking Pokemon now. Gothiel is a Generation 5 mainstay from Unova and is often seen as the exact opposite of the much, I can't stress how much better looking it is, Gardevoir. But this tall psychic Pokemon has the hairstyle straight out of a sci-fi B-movie, and I really cannot take it seriously in any way, shape, and form. I mean, I suppose this is Pokemon, so we shouldn't take any of it seriously, but this Pokemon in particular. Its dress or body dress, I don't know what the technical fashion terminology is, but it's covered in bows. And now all it needs is a bunch of zippers and studs, and it could truly be Gothiel. Oh, I just got that. Now, the Gothiel line itself has never been overly attractive to trainers, but the final evolution can usually be summed up with, well, that was a waste of time, and energy, and eyesight. And well, looky here, dear customer, it seems you've shifted quite a few boxes. You're not keen to get away from your old buddy Liam, are you? Well, trust me, I am almost finished monologuing. I just need to give you my honorable mention, and that would go to Purugly. Purugly, as its name clearly states, is ugly, but I feel like it's too easy and also too beautiful, so it is not on my list. Only plebs make an ugly list featuring Purugly, so now onwards to the most ugly Pokemon in the world, and it is Bruxish. Bruxish is an ugly fish. No, really, straight up, it's just an ugly looking fish. And Bruxish slid into our eyesight, causing a cacophony of disgusted looks around the world in Generation 7. And Bruxish has 3 things that a fish should never have: eyelashes, a flower thing, and lips. Lips again, what is it with the lips? These lips really are, like, what's the opposite of a selling point? A disgust factory. Yeah, the lips are easily the worst feature of this feeble fish. And along with its oddly shaped body and weirdly big teeth, its strange flower bulb gives you another reason to turn your head. Turn your head away from the Bruxish it is, and definitely not towards it. This thing acts like an antenna to knock out your Pokemon with psychic powers, but in reality, I think they just got a glimpse of this gruesome fish. Thankfully, being native to Alola means that we don't have to often see it here in Kanto, but the problem is that once you've seen it even a singular time, even if it's only an image, then it is burnt into the deepest depths of your brain hole. And it's just Bruxish from here on out. All of that year 12 calculus, it's Bruxish. Your favorite film, it now stars Bruxish. And your mother's name, well, it was Debbie, but now it's Bruxish. In conclusion, this fish. But that pretty much does it for my unsolicited opinions of the top 10 most ugly Pokemon. Thank you very much, dear customer, for sticking with me. And please do make sure to stop by Team PokeMart anytime just to say hi, which you can do in the comments below. And if you're interested in some of our other merchandise, then please do click these tantalizing links over here. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for regular updates of our new stock. But for now, this has been Team PokeMart, and I'll see you next time.